So for this project, I'm actually using glass that I have broken up myself and tumbled in one of my tumblers. I've been breaking up glass for quite a few years now, so I have a pretty big collection of it. It's glass that I put grit in, water, and tumble for up to a week in one of my tumblers. This is a 3-pound National Geographic's tumbler that I keep out in the garage. I have several tumblers, and these are the ones that I use grit in, so they get pretty messy. In addition to the 1 and the 3-pound tumbler that I have outside, I also have a 65-pound tumbler and a 45-pound tumbler that I keep out in the garage. And I have 2 that I keep in the house that I use just water in, that I use to just get the sharp edges off of glass. But this here I've actually tumbled for about a week to get a nice smooth edge on it. And after I'm done tumbling it, I rinse it off outside in the garden so as not to rinse anything down the drain. And because I've been tumbling for so long, I have quite a collection of glass. And right here, all I'm doing is going through the glass, just trying to pick out the pieces that I want to make my tumbled glass Christmas tree. I also have a starfish that I'm going to put at the top of the Christmas tree, and for those of you who don't know, if you get resin on a starfish, it turns a real ugly brown, so you have to seal it first. And in this case, I am using Mod Podge to seal it, and this is a glitter Mod Podge. I've had this sitting around for quite a few years. I really don't like it with the glass art, but it's real pretty to cover a starfish with. So I just go ahead and paint it with that and let it dry. Next, I actually end up using painter's tape to seal up the back. I couldn't figure out how to get the mirror out of there. I think that screw there had something to do with it, but I decided I was going to take a chance and just go ahead and seal it up with the painter's tape real well and get it in the corners real good. So hopefully we have no leaking. And after I had it all sealed up, I flipped it over and put the glass back on it. Put the dried starfish at the top and a piece of driftwood at the bottom for the trunk of the tree. And then I had some crushed shells that I used for under the bottom of the tree, and I used some little shells to put on top of the crushed shells. I had a turtle brooch, and when you're using the brooch, you have to take the pin off the back of it so that it sets flat. I pick up a lot of these brooches on Temu. They have some really good deals on the brooches. You can usually get them for a little over $1. Glass that I use in my videos is glass that I pick up at garage sales and thrift stores. And honestly, garage sales, you can find the best deals on glass. For this project, I'm using Bond Crafters resin. I've used this in molds and now on glass, but it is not good for canvas. So it does leave fish eyes. It's not a coating resin. So for this, I just start, whenever I'm doing glass art, I always start by putting it over the glass first. And I love for all the glass to be shiny. If you guys want it to look more like the SEAGLASS look, you can cover your glass with resin and then lay the final pieces on the top, and they will remain frosted if you don't put any resin over them. And unfortunately, when you do it this way, we are going to lose some of the variation in color. I had some that were quite a bit lighter, but when you pour resin over a light piece of glass that's sitting on a dark piece of glass, the lighter piece of glass will pick up the color from below it. You're still going to see some variation in color here, but not as much as if you didn't pour resin over the top layer. So after I cover the glass, then I go around around the edges and in the corners. And although they say resin is self-leveling, it really needs your help to be pushed up into the corners and along the edges. And I did drizzle it over the shells at the bottom also. And usually I'll use a spoon or a little silicone spatula to move everything around. And sometimes I'll even use my gloved hand. I have the resin all smoothed out. I used some tiny little starfish and put those on the Christmas tree, and a few more additional shells at the bottom and some more shells on top of the Christmas tree. I also put the starfish at the top as one of the last things, and I think I put a few more shells on. I used the kitchen torch to get rid of the bubbles, and then I drizzle a little bit of resin over all the additional starfish and little shells that I put on. So this Bond Crafters resin, and the instructions, it doesn't say the best temperature to cure at, it doesn't say the amount of work time that you have available, but it seemed to be comparable to the rest of the resins. I had about a 45-minute work time, and I had a problem with it up at the very top. Wanted to pull away from the side in that one area for some reason at the very top. So after I'm done with the project, I always come back every 15 minutes to check for glass placement and move it back in place with a toothpick if I need to. I check for sediment. It's in your best interest to get down eye level and look at it for sediment. It needs to be on a flat level surface. All resins are different. You need to read the directions for the resin that you are using. It's in your best interest to cover it with a dust cover. Hey everyone, another Christmas tree. I think it turned out real pretty. So I did, well, I've done a few SEAGLASS Christmas trees, but the larger one that I did, I think last year, it might have even been 2 years ago, was not multi-layered. It was just one layer, and I used different colors of glass. And you could see the different colors of glass because one was not layered on the other. Whereas with this, I kind of used different shades of blue, hoping you would see them. And we all know, or at least I know, that when you put one color glass that's lighter than the one below it, the top one will pick up the color of the one below it. So a lot of times the color actually disappears. But I think you can still see, I tried to put it so that they were kind of on the sides and kind of made it a little higher on top so you could see some different shades of the blue. And I hope that this comes across as you're looking at it like this, so you can see some of the lighter blue in it. It doesn't look like it's all just the dark blue. But all in all, I think it turned out real pretty. I hope you guys enjoyed the project. And I like the way the starfish turned out with that glittery Mod Podge. I've had that for a couple years now. I don't know what I was going to do with it, so I'll use it to cover up starfish, I guess. And these really didn't change color. These kind of stay the same. It's the bigger ones that I've had problems with for some reason. You have to seal them before you put them in resin, or they turn a real ugly brown color. But all in all, I think it turned out pretty. I hope you guys enjoyed the project. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps the channel. If you enjoyed the channel, go ahead and subscribe. That really helps the channel. Come join us over on the Facebook page, and I hope you guys all have a great day. Thanks for watching.